We're live?
We are live, yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh. Hey everybody, this is Chef Marty for the Welcome In Show. Thank you for joining us again, and happy to be here. Today we have Chef Otto with us, Chef Otto Borsich, and we're celebrating A Chef is Born. Yep, the book. So I hope most of you have gotten a copy of this book already, but if you haven't, there's still time. So feel free, Amazon, we're going to talk more about that later. And we have the mobile cam running. Oh, we have our little buddy here, Chef Otto. Today's menu is eat it or go hungry, right?
That's it.
Okay. Otto, happy to have you here in the kitchen. And tell us a little bit about what we're going to do today.
Hey, super pumped to be here. I got to give a shout out to my fabulous host. Marty, like myself, is a subsailor. He was a cook. He dedicated 20 years of his life to the Navy. He was also the chef for Clinton at Camp David. And he owns and operates the only presidential culinary museum here in these United States. And y'all got to come down to Grover, North Carolina, and check this place out because it truly is incredible. And I'm just thrilled to be here. And I also want to say Happy Independence Day to the Philippines. As you know, my wife's Filipino. June 12th is Independence Day. That's when America did what they do and spread their freedom throughout the world for those people over there in Southeast Asia. So happy Independence Day to the Filipino family. For those of you who got my book, you know the concept. I tell a story. I include a recipe. It's a memoir. There's 2 more books that are coming out. It's a trilogy. And so I thought I would give you a sneak peek of what's going to happen for book 2. I'm not going to divulge a title just yet because it's a working title, but I am going to tell you about my favorite place on the planet. I've been to 30 countries, 5 continents, been to 45 states, lived in 15 of them, and people ask me, Otto, what's your favorite place? Nantucket. And it's kind of a shock when I tell that to people, but I spent 5 of the best summers of my life there. Amazing seafood, incredible place. It's magical, it's mystical, it's mythical, it's unbelievable. And I remember taking the slow boat from Hyannis over to Nantucket. It's about a 2.5-hour ferry ride. That includes all the automobiles, the trucks, Cisco, etc., to go to the island. And when we rounded that bend to pull into the dock in Nantucket, I said to myself, I'm home. And that place is a very special place in my heart. So in honor of book 2 getting started, and in honor of my favorite place on the planet, I'm going to make some crab cakes for you. So everybody loves a good crab cake, myself included. Here I just got...
And with that in mind, Otto, may I welcome you into the inn. Welcome in.
For me, it's not my birthday yet, cause I gotta say, you're looking like a gift for me, wrapped up nice and neat, baby. Get in my way now, don't be shy, we'll be here dancing day and night. Get in my groove now, don't be shy, cause I got this list of my favorite things. You could be the part where it all begins. You could be the first and the second and the third and the rest of it. You could be one of the things I love. Sunday morning breakfast with like a dreamed all love. Feel like everything that has a cherry on top. Get on my list of the things.
Okay, guys, well, welcome in again. Chef Otto, taking it away.
Okay, so we're going to make crab cakes from my favorite place on the planet. This was from a restaurant I worked at there. We got a simple egg yolk in there, some mayonnaise, and some panko breadcrumbs. Also going to throw in some fresh lemon zest. That's a zest of 1 lemon. I got some rough chopped parsley. That's about 2 tablespoons there. This is a nice little ingredient I put inside here. This is what I call wilted or melted leeks. This is 1 leek chopped fine and just sweat it out in butter with no color. That's going to enhance the flavor of the crab. I'm going to put that in there as well. And what you want to do is when you're making a crab cake, folks, you want to use jumbo lump crab, which I have right there. And I'm going to shout out to Phillips, which was a global crab company. This is the real deal crab. It's about 25 bucks a pound. But hey, nothing but the best for my guests out there in TV land.
Nothing but the best. All right, Phillips, we love you. Yep. They also had today not only the premium crab, but they had the back fin.
They had the back fin, yeah. And then there's a lump, and there's jumbo lump. And jumbo lump is actually a little bit more than just the lump, but it's all good.
Okay, we got a couple of comments coming in from around the world here.
Nice.
A lot of people are on waiting in the green room.
Oh, wow.
Looks like
Who we got in the green room?
Brian Ricks has said hello already. Good morning. It must be morning where he's at there. Brian, thank you for coming in on Facebook. First guest coming in from the green room, Kelly.
Oh, awesome. My dear friend Kelly.
Kelly Bradley coming in right now.
Hi.
Hello, Kelly.
Hello. I can't hear you, Otto.
We have lost audio on you guys' end.
Okay, let's try. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's try this camera here. See if he's okay.
Now I can hear you.
You got me now?
Now you got
Yep, I can hear you now. This is Dane.
Can you hear me now? As they say in the Rising commercial.
Okay. All right, Kelly, going back to you.
All right, Kelly, you're in the batter's box. How you doing?
Okay. Throw me the ball.
Can we get volume on her? I can't hear her now.
She can hear you now.
No, I can't hear her.
No, you'll hear her just in 1 second.
Okay.
Yep. Kelly, are you doing good out there?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on today, Otto.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, did you have something to say about Otto?
Does she ever?
Oh, where shall I start?
Exactly.
Otto is the most giving person I've ever known in my life. He came to our home one time and made the largest I can't even say it. Help me, Otto.
Paella.
For a community event for a nonprofit, and it was the most exciting thing to watch him. And it was cooked outside on our fire pit. We had a grill, and it was just the most wonderful thing. And he's helped so many nonprofits. Otto is a guy with a heart. That's all I've got to say.
And a guy with corn today also. Dane, are you a corn lover?
Oh, yeah, I love corn. I'm a big fan of Otto's, too, as well.
Yeah, Dane. Okay, I can't bring Dane on.
Tongue over there.
Without telling me my favorite story that he's got. So I was working at Central Market, and it was Super Bowl Sunday, and Dane invited me to his annual Super Bowl party, and he said, "Hey, bring something to eat." Okay. So I'm working, and now I got to make something. So I'm walking around the store, don't know what to do, and I see this 5.5 pound lobster in a tank, and I get a loaf of ciabatta, and I bring that, and I'm gonna let Dane finish the story for you.
All right, Dane, take it away.
Well, I kind of have to set the stage a little bit, because these Super Bowl parties I have 100 people over there. And it's a potluck, and I give awards away to whoever brings the best food. So it's $100 to first place, and second and third get $50. So these people, I mean, they cook and they go crazy making amazing food, and they spend a lot of time doing it, trying to win that $100. So Otto shows up at my door with an uncooked 5.5 pound lobster and proceeds to cook it in my kitchen during the game. So, he's got the whole house smelling like lobster. And then at halftime, he makes this piece of bread that, I don't know, it must have been 2 feet long. And he shelves it out and puts all of the lobster dip inside of it, and puts the head on one end and the tail on the other, and the legs sticking out of the sides of it. And, so obviously he wins the contest, and all of these women gang up on me afterwards and accuse me of bringing a ringer to the party. So I got in big trouble for having Otto come over and cook that 5.5 pound lobster in my house.
And Dane, I think I was the only guy that upstaged the Beyonce halftime show that night.
Yes, that's right.
Well, Deborah Candid said she can't wait to see your crab cakes. Dr. Joseph from India said everything looks colorful and awesome. Yep. So just a couple more comments rolling in. And gonna switch now. Dane, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Dane.
Yep, Dane, we love you. Gonna run back for a second there now and just say, if we can, goodbye to Kelly or anything else. Last thank you for her.
Bye. Thanks, Otto.
My regards to Counselor
Kelly Bradley.
Okay.
We are doing the corn.
So I'm roasting some corn here, and I'm doing it on a little cassette burner here, and this is going to go into the crab cake as well, a little extra sweetness. Now I tell you, a lot of cooks and chefs out there, they'll put red pepper or roasted red pepper in the crab cake, and to me, honestly, that really makes my take my apron off and maybe say a few choice words, because that red pepper is so strong, it actually overpowers the sweetness of the crab. That's why I'm not.
That's looking nice, Otto.
Yeah, it's looking nice and sharp.
So, and we didn't really have a grill inside here. I mean, we could get out the George Foreman, but Otto said, let's just put this on there.
So we're going impromptu here. So I like to put a little sweet corn in there, a little leek, some parsley. I like to use lemon zest and not lemon juice, because you really want to have this mixture nice and tight to form the cake, if you will. And you just want enough mayo in there to bind, to be able to make a cake, if you will. Okay, I'll throw that corn in there. That's going to sweeten it up. We're going to shape up the crab cake. We're going to cook them up. And I got some nice little coleslaw here. See how nice that is? Nice char on that. Bring out those natural sugars of the sweet corn. Who else we got in the green room there?
All right, coming into the green room now, Chef Otto. We have the ever popular and distinguished guest, Adolphus.
Adolphus, my man.
Adolphus is popping in. Let's bring Adolphus in and see if he's got something funny to say today, or if he has a comment that he would like to make.
Okay, can I come? Otto? Can you hear me now?
Adolphus, you are here. Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Okay, great. Well, all I can say about Otto is that he's weird. He's crazy and he's sick, and I love him.
Big hoorah to Mr. Adolphus. He's a Marine veteran of the Vietnam War.
Action. That's what.
Yes, I
He's got his book,
and he's in the Philippines. So happy Independence Day to you, brother.
He's got his book.
I'm here in the Philippines, and we're going through some changes with the corona, like it is every place else in the world. But we're hanging in there, and I still manage to feed the children every Saturday.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Adolphus. We have the 24-hour food bank here, which is just out front of the Presidential Culinary Museum. And people routinely hit that food bank, also 2 libraries, and Chef Otto has been a huge supporter. Everybody can kind of see what Otto you did with the corn. You took the corn right off there.
Took the corn off there. And here's a little helpful hint for you folks at home. If you don't know this already, you really want to scrape this cob and get all that excess, sweetness and kernels off the cob into the corn there. And also, you can take these corn cobs and cut them up, if you would, like so. You need a really good knife like I got here. Cut those cobs up like that. Put them in a combination of milk and heavy cream, and that can be a base for a fantastic corn chowder. There is so much flavor in this. And I'm going to tell you something interesting, too, about corn cobs as well. Back in Nantucket, the oldest house in Nantucket dates back to the 1650s, I believe. And when it's nothing really but like maybe 100 square foot little shack. But somebody lived there at one time, 400 years ago. And you can see where they used the earth and with water and made mud. And they stuck corn cobs in the crevices of this one-room house 400 years ago. And now in 2021, those corn cobs are still intact, shoved in place in that oldest house in Nantucket. That's your history lesson, folks. Trying to give you your money's worth today. I know you spent a lot of money to get here, and I appreciate you spending $100 ticket, but I got to make sure it's value added.
Well, awesome. Thank you. Also, it looks like aside from Adolphus, we have Christine is on today. Christine, if
Yeah,
you want to unmute
yeah.
now and
Bring in that young lady.
and
Let's
come
see what
on
she's
in.
got to say. She's got a lot to say that one. We're going to give her like 1 minute, Marty.
Okay. Christine,
Hi,
welcome
honey.
to the party.
Hey, Dottie, I have to say hi to you too.
Dottie!
Hi.
Dottie's back there.
I'm here. Hey.
Hi. Christy's a dear friend of mine, amazing woman. The only person I know who ever walked the Camino, the Camino, the walking the Pyrenees Mountains in France to Spain, the spiritual walk. She did that all by herself in like 5 weeks. It's 500 kilometers, I believe. She's a very consciously aware woman. It was all about bringing the power of one into the world and let everybody who has their gift to fulfill their gift on this planet and make it a better place to live. Wait, tell us more about that, Christine.
Gotta correct you, dude. It was 500 miles for whatever that's worth. But yeah.
Okay, good. 500 kilometers, 500 miles, all good.
You know, watching you put that corn on that fire reminds me of when you were at my house and we walked to the farmer's market and you were just picking stuff out and you came back and cooked and you just threw that green pepper on the fire, on the stove. Yeah, that's just what you do, huh? And yeah, the power of one. I mean, nobody personifies that more than you, dude. Just
well, you're very kind.
Really cool too, being able to have known you before you wrote the book and know your story and all the things that you've done that are so incredible, and then to actually be able to go even deeper in the book. And you're such a great storyteller. It just reads like it just goes so fast, and learning all the details of all those little moments in your life. And that you were just born in this tiny little town in Ohio, and you have, like you said, lived in 30 countries and worked for Leona Helmsley, and you helped open Atlantis. I mean, it just goes on and on. It's like every time I'm with you, there's some other incredible story of something you've done, either like high end, elegant, incredible, or you are like just in some third world country working your ass off, feeding people that are hungry. It's like you packed 3 lifetimes into one and you're not even done yet. It's such a pleasure. Yeah. Oops.
Whoops.
It's great seeing you, Christine.
You
Looking forward to see you. And hey, so she talked about that Ocean Stamp hometown, that little tiny place. And I got to get my buddy Rod in.
Okay.
Know him since kindergarten.
Let me bring Rod in.
Hey,
A little bit of feedback. Let me see if I can remove that one from the stream, and that'll be a little bit better. Rod, we are almost ready. Rod, take it away. Rod, am I saying your last name correctly?
Jewel.
Rod Jewel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So just great to be, a part of this. I think it's a great, to be able to watch Ott cook. And we were little kids when I first met Ott. I mean, we've been friends ever since. And Otto talked me into going into the Navy, and that was the best advice, best suggestion of my life. Yeah. But, and what an awesome guy. I mean, his career, from the Navy to, cooking all over the world, and he's been on the Food Channel, and I just I'm in awe of what he's accomplished, and I'm excited about what he's going to keep accomplishing. He's doing things like this, and it's inspiring. He inspires me when I talk to him or get to connect with him. It's just inspiration. So you couldn't ask for a better friend. So
Rod, you're so kind, and you inspire me, bro. You're what, all of 160 pounds. You run every day. You got like 3.1% body fat. Good God. I mean, you're an amazing human. But you and my brother Mike, we went and did that Spartan in South Carolina a couple years ago. What a great, way to bond our friendship and my brotherhood with Michael, and my brotherhood as well as you, Navy veteran. And it just,
Yeah, bro. We've been together since kindergarten, man. Joined the Navy together, and here we are, still again. And you're retiring soon from the government. You were an accountant, there, and smart guy, man. You were a Hebrew interpreter for the Navy. You were a CT, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Cole.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean,
and we love rock and roll, and we're diehard Browns fans.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I couldn't. I'm always thankful for having a best friend like you. I mean, through the years,
I appreciate you, Ron. You're a good guy. We had some awesome memories.
Yeah, we do. Definitely.
More to come.
Yeah. So, and it's great to just be able to participate in something like this and watch you. I mean,
I'm glad you're here, and I'm looking forward to getting back to the Buckeye State and seeing the Browns game this year.
All right, man.
All right, brother. Take care, man. Say hi to Pat.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you so much, Rob.
You want to
do
a little quick thing here with the crab cake?
Absolutely. Let's catch up with the crab cake.
Hang on, Sharon. We're getting to you, girl. All right, so I'm just shaping these cakes. They're approximately 2 ounces. It's a 1 pound can. Give or take, you're going to get eight portions out of this, if you will, or 8 cakes, I should say, which would be 4 portions if you give 2 cakes each.
And you had the corn in there.
I got the corn in there. I got the leek. I got the tarragon. I'm sorry, the parsley, the lemon zest. Yeah, I was looking for fresh tarragon, which I really love with the crab. They didn't have any. I could have used dry. I decided to go against the dry. But by and large, this is pretty much the same crab cake that I made for 5 summers up on that B&B in Nantucket.
And this is going to be available in the new book.
This is going to be available in the new book, and that's so the new book is going to pick up where the old book left off. So we're going to talk about my career path, getting out of the Navy, going to Alaska, baking on oil rigs, working at the Olympic Hotel in Seattle, which is a Four Seasons property, road tripping across America, moving to New York, doing my apprenticeship at the Pierre Hotel, working at La Bernardin, opening that place up, becoming Leona Helmsley's personal chef, the Queen of Mean, who went to jail for misappropriations of funds and income tax fraud. So that's going to be in there too. And the whole story of New York City in the 80s, where, that's the whole Gordon Gekko era. Greed is good, and the whole AIDS pandemic and Reaganomics. All of that is going to be in that book. And then we're going to get into the 90s. We're going to talk about the ship's end. We're going to talk about what I call Psycho Beach, which is South Beach down in Florida, because those are some crazy times. And it's going to take us right up into 2000 when I was on the opening culinary team at the Atlantis Resort and Casino. So that's your little preview of book 2. So.
All right. I think we now have a very good friend.
Yes.
Yeah. Is it Shawnee? Shawnee, do you want to unmic? Okay.
Hey, it's Shawnee. And I always ask Otto, because it's the first thing in the book is, will I be in the first? Oh, no. Will I be in the second book? So now I'm actually hoping I'll be in the 3rd book.
Yeah, you'll be in the 3rd book. It's chronological.
It's chronological. Okay. So hi, Otto. Thank you for having me.
It's great seeing you. And sidebar, Shawnee is so. It's actually Shawnee, but I can't.
Shawnee, but that's okay. Call me.
She knows what I call Shawnee Martha, as in the Filipino Martha Stewart.
He does.
She's so darn crafty. She's a great cook in the kitchen. She decorates. She's fashionable. She raises 3 kids. She started this nonprofit organization called Independence Gardens. So why don't you tell us all about that, Shawnee, Martha?
You know what? First of all, I just kind of want to thank Otto, because meeting him, I was he was very intimidating when I met him. By the way, we met at Central Market when I launched one of my food products, and he was just such an intimidating guy, but he was like, and I asked him, and I'm like, so what do you think? He goes, it's fantastic. And I said, well, do I need to go to culinary school? And he's like, why? And I said, great. So I think we became friends at that point. So Independence Gardens is actually born out of just a simple school lunch for my daughter. And it's just really understanding what kids need in school and nutritional. And so since 2013, we've really impacted over like 20,000 kiddos across the country with this program.
Wonderful.
And it starts off what I call school garden on speed. So it's an outdoor learning space. Now we're into hydroponic systems and morphed into what Otto is really involved in, and that it's a come and eat it program where chefs come in and cook live in schools across 20 campuses here in Dallas. And we're actually going to be in Arizona and school districts in Arizona next year. So we are looking at 40 schools next year that's going to participate in this live cooking program. So over 4,000 to 5,000 kids doing this in the month of May next year. And so that, you know, and it's Otto has been really a great part of it. He has been such, like, you know, just really mirroring what Kelly said earlier. He is such a great individual when it comes to and being involved in causes that really matter, right? You know, because you can be involved in anything, but he's really involved in causes that impact a lot of lives. And I think that's why our friendship has evolved so much, is because of what he's done. And I'm hoping to get to see him, because we are putting together our first live event in Dallas in September called Bikers in Wonderland, and it's a I know, right? It's a culinary. I'm sorry. It's called Bikers in Wonderland, and it's a culinary adventure. It's going to be actually held at Grandscape here in North Dallas, and so it's 10 chefs that's going to put on their culinary imagination reflective of Alice in Wonderland book, and all of it is going to benefit Independence Gardens for the programs that we're going to be doing. So Otto and I are in conversation to possibly have him come out to Dallas for that. And so he'll be, you know, we're really interested, because he's, if you have not tasted his food, oh my God, it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. And I'm so glad. I want to say hi to Dottie, that he had an opportunity to meet Dottie, because some of the greatest memories I have of him is having him come to my parents' house and enjoying the food that my parents have made. So I'm hoping that he gets to at least have some kind of Filipino food for Independence Day, right, Dottie? You're making something. Some kind of pancit, adobo, or something. Right?
We're having crab cakes for Independence Day. There's a lot of crab in the Philippines.
Oh my God. And so, just so you know, I was jotting down the recipe, and I'm thinking, are you going to make this available?
It's going to be available.
The crab cake.
Yeah, so. you paid $100 to be here, so I got to make it worth your while.
All right, Otto, you want to take us to commercial, and we'll be right back.
Just one second. We got to cut you loose, but I just want to say I love this woman so much, because why? She went to go pick her kids up one day at school, and she saw her kids were eating canned green beans at the school cafeteria, and she's like, no, this is unacceptable. And from that moment, that sparked that Independence Gardens, which is now going to be in 40 schools and hopefully nationwide. So, Shoni, you are awesome. You are so forward thinking with doing that and proper nutrition. I'm just thrilled to be on board with that. We got to go to commercial.
That's right. Thank you for having me.
Salamat.
And we're coming back with Shoni. Is she going to come back? She's not done yet, right? We will be right back with Shoni.
Well, this episode is when screaming guests are lit on fire inside the White House. So I know that everyone's thinking like, what did he just say? It's one thing to... Oh my gosh, and who knew in Abilene High School that we would be able to get a photograph from Julie Eisenhower? She sent this to us.
Join former White House chef Marty Mangello as he brings to life colorful stories about America's presidents and first families that have occupied 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest. It's time to be informed and entertained with Inside the President's Cabinet. Visit the website today at www.insidethepresidentscabinet.com.
I'm Marty Mangello from the United States Presidential Culinary Museum, and welcome to another episode of Inside the President's Cabinet.
Did you know that at least half of the world's population still does not have access to essential health services? One of the biggest problems in developing countries is the lack of medical monitoring devices. We have a solution. Kipuwex. Kipuwex is an easily attachable, lightweight IOMT device which continuously measures all the clinically relevant biomarkers vital to the assessment of your health. Kipuwex uses smart algorithms to provide efficiently reliable measurements for healthcare professionals. The biomarkers can be monitored remotely, anywhere and at any time, with a mobile and web application. Kipuwex is not limited by physical infrastructure and is suitable for professional use and in the future for home users as well. A simple user interface will let you choose which biomarkers you want to view and displays them on easy-to-read graphs. We here at Kipuwex want to combat healthcare inequality and help millions of people around the world.
Hey, Chef Otto here. Want to tell you about my Amazon best-selling memoir cookbook, A Chef is Born, chock full of recipes, also ranked the 77th book of all time out of 99, according to the Book Authority.
It's a good book, but I'm a better chef than you.
Yeah. Did you ever miss someone who has passed away? Now there's Missugram app, giving people a brand new way to tribute the lives of deceased loved ones, or simply remember tender memories. This exclusive app is a user-friendly social media platform, giving people everywhere a respectable and comfortable place to create private or public memoriams. Missugram has additional features like chat rooms and links to deceased databases and inspirational quotes. Users can also comment and connect on public posts. Join us and keep memories alive forever. Everyone wants to be remembered. For more details and download on the Google Play or Apple App Store, visit miss-u-gram.com.
All right, guys. Yes, we are back.
She's back, Martha.
Chef Otto with the rest of the story after all those commercials.
Yeah, I love that commercial, by the way. That's the best commercial of your book ever.
What? Oh, that's my niece.
I know, I realized that. I'm like, oh, she's so cute.
That's Isla, and that's Dottie's sister's baby girl.
Ah, okay, that's super cute.
They
Okay,
were out visiting us from California last week.
okay,
It was
yeah.
awesome. We went to Savannah, went to Tybee Island. We had a great time.
So I want to see what's happening with the crab cake, actually.
Okay, what's
Okay.
happening?
Crab cake.
What's happening is nothing right now. So we're gonna fire up the crab cake right now. So
You want to do that with the stove here, or you want to do it over there?
Excuse me.
I bring the stove back.
Yeah, we can bring the stove back.
All right, let's bring the stove back, Dottie. Yeah, well, we can do it here, and they can see it here.
We're gonna cook the crab cakes right here on there. And so let me just talk about how I cook the crab cake.
Thank you, Dottie.
It's how I prefer to do it.
Thank you, Vanna.
We got Vanna and we got Martha.
Martha.
All right, so, very, very important when you're cooking anything, but especially when you're sauteing, get the pan hot first. That's rule number one. Once you get the pan hot first, or the reason you get the pan hot first is because when you put the olive oil or the butter in there and the pan's cold, so to speak, what happens is the olive oil is not going to be able to. The pan is not going to be able to reach its maximum heat because the olive oil is going to get far too hotter before the metal gets the chance to reach its maximum heat. Okay, so I'm going to wait till that pan gets good and hot. I'm going to use a combination of olive oil and butter. Why? Because the olive oil has a higher smoking content, and the butter is going to brown and give it more flavor. So
can I ask a question?
Ask a question.
So one of the questions that I always get is which is better to cook with, extra virgin olive oil or just regular olive oil? Like, what is the best thing to cook with?
That's a great question. I don't want to say never because never's a long time, but I rarely ever cook with extra virgin olive oil.
Yeah. In school, they teach us not to because it breaks it down. And
Okay.
This is what I call. So you see, we're starting to smoke here. I'm going to turn this down a bit. Just give me a second. That's high test stuff, right? You know what I mean? That's high quality olive oil, and you do not want to.
And if we need to, we can just lift the pan up like that. So
you don't want
a lot of people ask me, "What do you do with that?" I'm like, "You just lift the pan up."
There you go. I'll bring the crab cakes back here. I think she's good, Mark. She'll be fine. Once I get the crab cakes in,
Okay.
it'll cool down.
Okay. All right. A little bit of butter.
A little bit of butter. See, that's going to get. See, it's going to melt real quick. I'm going to let that get brown. I'll put my crab cakes in there. Again, this is what I call high tester premium. You don't want to cook with this. This is a flavoring agent. This is what you want to drizzle on, a nice piece of focaccia, or use that for a vinaigrette, if you will. But you don't want to use that as a complete oil and a dressing because it's so fruity and so strong. I like to call that a finishing oil, the extra virgin oil, okay? Because it's so strong with that fruity grass flavor. It's more of an enhancement agent as opposed to just to the regular olive oil, if you will.
Patty said, "Yes, bring out the crab cake." No.
Yeah.
Patty Krugenberg from New York, from the Miss You Graham show.
Crab cakes are working. And so again, one thing I also want to impress upon you when you're cooking, and I love the quote by Marco Pierre White, anybody can start cooking. It's knowing when to stop. And that's not about, retiring. That's about working this flame, controlling the heat. I see a lot of youngsters out there. They put the pan on high. Yeah, I'm cooking now. It's about controlling this flame. I want to start it on high. I want to get a nice even brown and sear on here. And then I want to turn it down. But when I flip these cakes over, I want to crank that heat back up again and maximize that temperature and get a nice crust on the reverse side. The thing about the crab, folks, is this is already cooked. And there's only really one raw ingredient in there, and that's an egg yolk. So we don't really need to cook the heck out of this. We're just basically getting it brown.
Yeah, the crab is already cooked. That's very important.
Crab is already cooked.
Plus, it's pasteurized, so
it's pasteurized.
It's just that raw leg, and you got that raw leg today from the hens out back, the Polish chickens.
Marty's got some Polish chickens. They're the craziest chickens in the world.
Wait. What's a Polish chicken?
They're wild. I mean, I
Okay.
swear I put my Soul Train back in the 70s.
And somebody said, one day that's very inappropriate for you to use that word. I'm like, that is their word in science. They are known in farming. That is their name in science.
That's
Polish
it.
chicken. I'm not being inappropriate. But they do. They have a huge afro, and you can barely see their eyes, right, Otto? Did you go over to the chicken pen?
Beady eyes.
So
Afro chicken.
So how long per side, Otto? If I'm cooking it at home.
Each side, how long?
Yeah, about 2 to 3 minutes per side. Yeah, they won't take long. And I've also seen, another option if you don't want to fry them, but I like pan frying them. You can put these right on the sheet tray like this.
Okay.
Pop them in a hot oven. But again, I prefer the pan method. And you got to be careful too when you do this kind of crab cake with the corn, like popcorn. Those kernels of corn will pop, and they will nail you if you're not careful. Yeah. Just a little extra fun when you're cooking. Watch
especially
out
when they're encapsulated with the burning hot olive oil.
Nothing like a hot kernel of corn in your eyeball with 360-degree olive oil and butter in your eyeball.
Dude, that's fun. Yeah, screaming out loud in unending pain. Yeah, that's part of the fun of cooking.
That's when the F-bomb is appropriate.
We did have. It looked like Freddie B was able to pop in.
Oh, good.
Martin's on. Martin Cobalt is he coming in from Germany?
We got to bring him on.
Martin, can you hear us on mute there? It's not that late.
No, it's like, what is it, 6:30 over there? It's the 6:45. Are you with us, Martin?
Oh, everybody's back.
Oh, we still have lots of folks.
Good.
Here from all over the world. Kelly is still hanging with the homies, and Patty said, my laughter is contagious. It's about as loud as Otto's, so hopefully she's
we're in competition, Marty and I, for laughter.
Hopefully she's getting happy to see the crab cake out.
So
it looks so good.
I flipped them over. I cranked the heat back up now to get some browning on that.
Get a little bit of brown on the cakes, and if you need to, you can always just rinse off your spatula. Also, Otto's got a baby spatula today.
Yeah.
So
this is metal here, obviously.
It's okay.
Yeah, but mine is okay. But for me, it's a Teflon pan, so that's a good lesson. Don't use metal and Teflon. If you're going to use a spatula, make sure the silicone spatula that's going to be able to withstand the 500-degree heat that's in that pan right there. Don't use a $2.99 spatula that's not heat resistant, because you're gonna actually melt down that spatula in the frying pan, and that's not going to be good. Martin, how are you? Are you with me? We unmute him. He's unmuted?
He's talking. Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
From South Africa.
Yeah, I'll trade that for some biltong.
Absolutely, no problem. I'd like your pies there.
So Martin, I met in 2003. He's an Austrian national who lives in Johannesburg. He's just done some amazing things down there with the school and the Chefs Association, and he's a global competition judge. Just an amazing guy and a great colleague, and just an honor to meet him in South Africa all those years ago, and with that whole Cooks tour that you did. Martin, please tell everybody out in the World Wide Web what happened in South Africa with the Cooks tour.
Well, as you know, we've had three. We had the first one in 1993, then another one in 2003, and then another one in 2011. Well, it started off small. It was the brainchild of Dr. Bill Gallagher, who passed away now 5 years ago already. Can you believe that? And we were able to, at the last World Chefs Tour Against Hunger, we were able to raise a substantial amount of money, and we were able to feed for the duration of over 5 years, or contribute to feed for the duration of over 5 years of 35,000 underprivileged children in South Africa. The sad story is that unfortunately there's still an average of about 2.4 million hungry people in South Africa that wake up every morning and not knowing what they're going to be eating the next day. So I've just arrived today again in South Africa from Austria. I'm residing in Austria now again because my whole family is back in Europe. So I came back here to South Africa again to visit my school. And also I've set up a meeting with the South African Chefs Association to perhaps talk for another World Chefs Tour Against Hunger in the very near future. Because there's certainly a need here to do that. I'm actually, just before I got into the show and while I was watching you in the beginning, I was just watching the video of the World Chefs Tour Against Hunger where you were there as well. So there's some very, very fond memories about chefs coming to South Africa out of their own steam, paying for their own tickets. And once they landed in South Africa, we of course looked after them. And they were here for like 10 days, and all around the country we had various events to raise funds and to showcase the good hearts of the chefs from all around the world. We've had 43 different nations of over 47 different nations and over 145 chefs from all around the world coming to South Africa at the last World Chefs Tour. And Otto, obviously, you played a tremendous role in making this a success as well, and not just for being here, but also to contribute with your wisdom and also to create the awareness of the hungry people in South Africa. But there's also, of course, there's hungry people all over the world. And I remember a couple of years ago, you and me were talking of maybe perhaps doing something in the States, something similar, because I really believe that it's necessary, not just in Africa, but all around the world. There is, unfortunately, still today that are still going to bed every evening and not knowing what they're going to have for a meal the next day. So there's certainly a need out there, specifically now after the pandemic or during the pandemic. Here in South Africa, we ride in it still, and I think it's still a global event. Needs are coming back from Europe. In Europe, it's sort of fading away, coronavirus. And but here in South Africa, it's very much alive. And as you know, there's not much funding from the government in helping that. And with the vaccinations, those are very, very slow. I mean, we've got over 60 million people in South Africa, and up to now we got about 1.2 million people vaccinated because there's just not enough vaccine in the country. So there's an entire need for this country to get back up on the feet. They're not even up on their knees yet. But I mean, I've heard some staggering figures today. Just in the hospitality industry, 1.2 million people lost their jobs in South Africa, and with no substitution from the government. So they literally lost their jobs or lost their businesses and sitting on the street, not knowing what they're going to be doing. So it's very sad, but it's very good to see you, Otto, doing a fantastic show. And I must compliment you not only on your food, but I also must compliment you on your jacket. I love your jacket with all the national flags.
I got it on here somewhere. There you go.
There's a South African flag. Yeah, it sticks right out. Perfect.
Hey, how long have you been in South Africa?
I've been in South Africa 32 years. I
tell you sound like a local. I mean, you got that South African accent down. I would never guess you're from Austria. You sound amazing.
When I came 32 years ago to South Africa, I didn't speak a word of English, so I learned it here. So yes, I am South African.
Hey, well, I got it. I just want to hit on a couple of points about the Chef's World Tour, because the Cook's World Tour, because I mean, it was life-changing for me, Martin. I mean, it really truly was. I get emotional just talking about it, but I mean, and I just want to rewind for our American friends who are watching, and also all the overseas people. In 2003, that was crazy. The day I left to go to South Africa, that's when they had that major power outage. Took out like almost 1/3 of the United States. And it was so difficult to leave from where I was living in New York to get down to the city to fly to Joburg. That's how I started to trip out. But I remember walking off that jet, and there was all those South African culinary students lined up with a red carpet on either side, and they had wire whisks like this. It was like the military. And we walked through there. And
the guard of honor. The guard of honor.
It was so touching, and we did so much, and we went to Soweto, and I tell you, that was life-changing for me, going to the Apartheid Museum, And you know, just cooking. You know, I got to go to Sun City with my dear friend Yvette from Baton Rouge, and we cooked over there. And again, you know, you're extending hospitality because, hey, my passport was either stolen, lost, misplaced, whatever. I got to stay an extra day or two in South Africa and hang out with you guys. So that was great. And Martin, I'm going to share this with you. I've told some other friends that day when I left South Africa, after being there for a week or 10 days, whatever it was, and I'm watching that sun out there on that jet, and I'm leaving. And I said, Otto, you are never going to complain about anything ever again in your life.
Yeah.
People don't know poor in this country. Brother, I've seen poor, and poor over here is nothing compared to poor over there or other countries. So I was just thrilled to experience that, to help out in any way, shape, or form I could, and to also expand myself as a chef and a human being about how we all are connected and how some people suffer. I'm on that safari ride with Yvette, and there's a woman out there in the bush collecting ash in a little Ziploc baggie, and the driver's telling us the woman's collecting that ash to brush her teeth with because she can't afford toothpaste.
Yeah.
I tell you, it will humble you. So I hope to see you again at another cook store. I hope we can do one over here. Who knows?
Why not? Why not?
Why not?
There's a need everywhere. So yeah, Otto, again, congratulations for me for an awesome show. And I'm very humbled to call you a friend and call you a friend for South Africa and the world. And keep on doing what you're doing and keep on creating awareness of how well off we are, and there's so many desperate people out there, as I said, and I say it again, that go to bed tonight not knowing what they're going to eat tomorrow, and that's so sad in our day and age to have a situation like this where there's still so many people. So there's so much more to do for all of us. So Otto, I'm working hard and trying to get another World Chef's Tour against Hunger going again. And you'll be the first one to know. And I know you'll be the first one to book your ticket and come to South Africa.
Yeah, and we're Dottie and I, we're going to Abu Dhabi next year for the Wax Conference.
Absolutely. We'll definitely see you there.
Super. Hey, it's been great seeing you. My regards to all the chefs and cooks out there in South Africa, man. I love you. Thank you so much for everything you're doing out there.
Take care, Martin. Thank you, buddy.
Cheers, guys.
Who else we got out there we haven't talked to yet? Anybody? Or?
Well, we have talked with everybody. Okay. And comments keep coming in, and let me see. What
let me start the sliders because we got. All right, so I cooked the crab cakes here.
We did have a question from the studio audience up in New York it was from Patty about where to get the recipe. So I just wanted to answer that. That'll be in the next book. Yeah.
Well, we will also post the recipe as well online. It'll be available.
No, that's forbidden. It's a secret recipe.
Oh, secret recipe. Sorry. You heard the producer said it's secret. Even Dane can't get it out of me.
Oh, look at Dane. He's pissed. We'll see. I probably blew out the microphone.
Okay, so the crab cakes are cooked. I'm just going to do a real quick slaw here. So I got some julienne cabbage.
Oh, from Italy. Look, Leonardo.
Oh, wow. Hey.
Ci ama la cucina, ama la vita. Yeah. Cooking for life in the kitchen and wishing us the best. Cucinare tutto. Saluti, chef. Saluting you.
You speak great Italian.
Oh, man. You were all over the world today, bro.
I'm bad. I'm nationwide. Okay, check it out. We got a nice little slaw here. So, again, another Chef Otto pet peeve. Sorry for all you Texans out there. I'm not a fan of mayonnaise in my coleslaw or my potato salad. I know you like heaps of it down south, but I'm an oil and vinegar kind of guy. So right here, I got some seeded, some Granny Smith apple, some carrots, and a little bit of salt and pepper. I'll show you this. We got some Himalayan pink salt here, and I'm just going to grate that. So, like, why you got the Himalayan salt? Like, what's the secret? Well, one thing, this is salt in its purest form, so there's no, nonsense chemicals. It's not been processed. This is the real deal salt. So I'm using it for that reason. Plus, it's kind of cool to have pink salt, don't you think?
Absolutely.
It's all about the cool factor. some
black, white, red, and green
we
pepper.
got black, white, red, and green pepper here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody asked the question, is it organic? Because no, just kidding.
Listen, it's all organic, okay? All right, so that's that. And again, just some olive oil here.
A little bit of extra virgin olive oil.
Yeah. And so I want to do about a 3-to-1 ratio. So about 3 parts of oil to about 1 part of vinegar. This is some really super sexy vinegar here. And folks, there's, 100 kinds of vinegars out there, but this vinegar is so darn tasty. I'm just going to take a little.
Now, was this the quince and pear?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Can you get it on? Can we show them? I mean, look how syrupy this is.
The viscosity on this thing, yeah.
Good word, viscosity. Okay.
Yeah. And this is actually, are we going to go over to the olive oil and vinegar store today?
Yeah.
We got about 50 different ones from Uptown Olive. So when you're visiting, this, like we said, was the pomegranate quince. This is the white balsamic today.
Pomegranate quince, it's sweet, but it's also a high acidity. And this has really got a lot of fucker power to it. But it is a fantastic gourmet vinegar. So I got the vinegar tossed in there. Okay, and now I'm just going to mix this up. This is going to be the oil and vinegar slaw, if you will, purple cabbage and Granny Smith. Now start thinking about how these things taste, folks. These flavors: the cabbage, the tartness of the Granny Smith apple, the sweetness of the carrot, the coolness of the cucumber. All those elements coming together to make one big old flavorful firework in your mouth, which is going to counteract the fantastic crab cake. And look how nice and beautiful and colorful this looks.
It is.
And look how light it is. That is the absence of the mayo, which, again, not a fan of. But that's just me, folks. Don't let me dictate your eating habits. But by all means, if I go to your house and you cook for me, don't give me mayonnaise coleslaw because I'll be out of there faster than a jackrabbit. All right, so check it out. The crab cakes are done. Please note I put them on a paper towel to absorb the excess fat that cooked in there. Going to do something real slick here on the plate. Just going to do a little design here. Got the correct spoon. We getting all this here, Mr. Marty?
I am. I got it.
Okay, gonna put that down like so, and just give it a little swish. Bada bing, bada boom.
That's beautiful green.
Okay.
Matches the charger and a lovely placemat
And
today.
That sauce, folks, that's nothing more than some sauteed spinach with a little bit of garlic, some chicken stock, and olive oil made to a sauce consistency. I like it. It gives a nice little additional, piece of drama, if you will, to the plate. You put this slaw in there like so.
I remember Chef Walter from the White House said, if you think chefs don't touch your food,
you're out of your mind.
You're crazy. They do.
A couple of crab cakes there.
Looks lovely. I like
that. And you want everything nice and cold there, folks, in the slaw. And then what I did for one little, I got some tomatoes there. I'm not even going to bother with them, but those are a nice little option if you want.
Beautiful cherry
color.
tomato.
All right. So for example, here we can take this red. Folks, when you're cooking, when you're plating, it's all about contrast. And I'm just going to kind of mix that up and then to give it a little bit of dressing. You never want to just take a raw tomato and just put it on the plate. You want to sex it up and at least give it some salt, pepper, some kind of dressing. Maybe just kind of put that there like that. Give it an extra little oomph. It's a great color contrast, the red and the green. And then what I did here was really super ice cold celery curls. I took the celery and I ran the peeler off the celery, and it makes these nice little sexy curls to give it some shape.
And the ice cold is you're doing that with the ice cube, of course, makes things curl up.
Ice cold, makes it curl up. And you see that
it's like beautiful little ribbons.
Yeah.
So anybody can do do. That's easy to do.
Anybody, you don't need a chef's degree to do this.
And we do this with scallions and green onions and.
So there is the crab cake right there.
It looks horrific, Otto.
It looks horrific, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's our crab cake, folks.
All right, it looks awesome.
Me and Marty are going to do a little taste test there.
Can we get a beauty shot with your camera of that, maybe, Dottie? I think that's a nice finishing shot. Yeah.
Any more questions out there? Anybody else in the green room want to have anything to say here? Because we're going to get ready to sign off and eat these crab cakes, folks.
Yeah. This looks wonderful, wonderful. Absolutely fantastic. And this is nice too if you're having a party to bring out to your guests out front. Honestly, I mean, anybody that is doing this back in your kitchen, putting together a few of these, and then the guests are all waiting out front.
Another great thing too, folks, you have like a little cocktail party if you want. You can take this very same crab cake mixture, make little 1-ounce portions, little mini crab cakes, and saute those off, put them on a tray, boom. It's a one bite. People love that. You'll eat them like gumdrops. It's a great little, little one bite pass hors d'oeuvre at the party.
Well, I think, do we want to say goodbye to everybody and wish them our best from the Presents Television Network? We had Chef Otto here today for the Welcome In show. Otto, any final parting comments or advice for leading your life?
Folks, remember, here's one helpful hint for you. When you're chopping things, always make sure your fingers never leave your hand.
We love you. Good night.
Thank you for dropping out.